All right, all right. I think I am live. Just gonna double check. Hello, 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 everybody. Valerie Lewis right here, coming to you live from the suburbs of Washington, D.C. And today we're gonna have a little fun this evening. I'm gonna talk to you guys about Britcoms, darling. I'm gonna talk to you about one of my absolute favorites. It's called Keeping Up Appearances. So I was thinking about using my accent today, but it's not coming out as well as I'd hoped because I hadn't done it in a while. So it sounds really, really bad, really terrible. Okay. Yeah, I gotta work on it again. I used to be really good. I totally messed that up. I butchered it. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, UK. I'm sorry, England. I messed that up. But anyway, what did it talk about keeping up appearances? Hold on one sec because I forgot to get it off my little shelf here. Ah, so I was knocking things down. But yeah, so dang it, I had a little hole right there. But anyway, so here is my little collector's series, and it actually, hold on again, because I don't have any of the stuff that I need to have for this. Un momento, por favor. Oh Lord, that's not it. This is on my other shelf because this DVD set actually came in this really cool collector's bag that I wanted to show you guys. Okay, so it came in this collector's bag like this, and so it even has seeds and the little potters. So I'm gonna get to that in just a sec. So keeping up appearances is this really fun Britcom. You will know whether or not you love Britcoms if you are the type of person that loves just that light, airy comedy. You like the quick wit, you like the dry humor, and that intelligent type of humor where like you have to be paying attention to get the joke. Like if you're that type of person, then you will really love Britcoms in general. But especially this one. I love this because, first of all, the acting is absolutely amazing. I know the show has been off for like 20 some years now, but but even still, like I still love to watch it every single day when I can. Um, I've been getting a lot busier in my business, so I haven't been able to watch it as much as I had been before. But I love the storyline as well. This is about, we all know this type of person. There's somebody at some point in our lives we've come across like this, okay? So you have the lead, actress Patricia Routledge, who has, what do they call it? The OBE, right? For acting. So she's an excellent actor, well known, well respected in the acting community all over the world. Hold on. I can't see who that is. Okay. And she plays Hyacinth Bouquet. She pronounces it bouquet, but it's spelled bucket. Bucket. And she's one of those people who just has to keep up appearances. She has to put on um, this perception to the public, the outside world, that she is this well-off, well-to-do type person, that she is basically what we call here keeping up with the Joneses. Like she has to be the one who's seen as a, highly respected, well-known folk person who is like, she's in with, the big shot folks, in England, and perhaps like she likes to leave this hint that maybe she's even like this with the royal family too. Like she's just so very proper, and it's like, oh my gosh, quit it already, okay? And it's like so over the top, like that she's trying to impress you. You see it, you feel it, and it's just like she's trying so hard it's annoying to everybody and they try to avoid her. But what's even funnier is the fact that she's got this husband who's just like, bruh, I don't know what to do with her. Like, I just let her be, right? Because she never hears a word that he says, and he's just happy to go off to work every day until he gets to the point that he's offered early retirement, and he's like, please, I will stay here, please. Like, I'm gonna try not to give too much away of the whole plot of the whole series, but it's so funny, the way that they interact with each other. She doesn't really hear him when he's trying to say something to her, and trying to get her to think differently and more logically. She's just like, she didn't even hear him. So that's funny. Here's the kicker. Now, Hyacinth Bouquet, right, also has three sisters. Now, not only is she named after a flower, but all three of her sisters are as well. So she has a sister named Rose, a sister named Violet, and a sister named Daisy. They're all crazy. They're all bonkers. Okay? Definitely not the type of person that you would think would be relatives with Hyacinth, who is supposedly this very proper type person. So she's always trying to hide them. Like, she doesn't want people to see her with them. She's always trying to hide everybody except Violet. So I'll get to why not Violet in a minute. So Daisy is married to her husband Onslow, who is like this total slob. Their house is like broken down, run down. They don't have a lot of money, but they're happy and bubbly, right? She doesn't care about the happy and bubbly. She's like, please, Onslow, put on a daggone shirt, okay? Because he's always wearing like a baseball cap and either a shirt with the sleeves out, or that sweater vest he's always wearing with no shirt underneath. And he's like, yeah, I don't care. I'm just me. He's drinking beers. He's chilling. He's having a good time, right? His wife, Daisy, who is Hyacinth's sister, she is so in love with Onslow. Now, he's like overweight and he's not super duper attractive. And I'm not just saying that because he's overweight, okay? He's just not the most attractive looking guy. But Daisy, don't tell her that. She doesn't see it. She is just so hot for this guy, right? She thinks Onslow is hot stuff, like, oh my gosh, okay? So she's like always just this very hypersexual type of person. Like, she's still got the juices flowing, if you know what I'm saying. And he's like, right, like, please leave me alone, right? And it's funny because as she describes him when they were first going out, he would like chase her all over the house, and they'd always make love and like all this different stuff. And now you're looking like, really? Because he's just like, please, not now. I got a headache. Stuff like that. It's so funny. So like, that's how Daisy is. And because they're slobs, even though they're happy, that doesn't matter to Hyacinth. Because they're slobs, their house is run down, they've got this abandoned car in their front yard, and there's a dog. There's like this stray dog that I guess they've come to know and love, so they just let him live in their abandoned car that's in their front yard. And the abandoned car is all broken down, the door is missing. And it's so funny because every time Hyacinth does have to leave her house to come over to their neighborhood and come visit them, when she's walking to the front door, the dog only barks at her. The dog does not like her. Doesn't bark at her husband, Richard, but always barks at her. So you've got that aspect of things. Now, she's got another sister, Rose. Rose lives with um, Daisy and Onslow. She lives there with them, and she's got a much different personality from her sister Daisy. Daisy is so, loving and devoted towards her husband, no matter what. She's just like very passionate for him. Rose is passionate for everyone. She reminds me of like the Blanche type character of the Golden Girls. So if you love the Golden Girls, you'll recognize that in her. So she's like always going on these dates and going out with like married men, and then the wife is coming to the house looking for her, right? She always is wearing short skirts and just very revealing clothing, and so Hyacinth is like, oh my God, like, get behind me, like, hide, like, what are you doing? Like, like, get in the house quick, that kind of thing. Now, Onslow and Daisy own this car. The car is a total piece of junk. It backfires and everything. It's different colors. The doors are different color than the roof and all that kind of stuff. And so Hyacinth is very embarrassed if they ever try to come by. So, that just adds another element to things too, because as Hyacinth is always trying to impress the vicar or impress some councilman or councilwoman, or someone important, they always seem to show up, and she's always trying to like get them to keep driving down the street or just like act like she doesn't know them, and she's giving them directions and stuff like that. So it's really funny. um Also, their dad is still alive, and their dad is an elderly man at this point, obviously. And so he's a little on the senile side, but not all the way there. And they play it up where it's more funny than sad. So their father also likes the opposite sex, right? Just like how Rose likes the opposite sex, their dad also does. So he's this little old man chasing around the ladies, okay? And pinching bottoms and stuff, and chasing after them on his bicycle and stuff like that. So Hyacinth is a little bit embarrassed by that, and instead of telling people that he's, as Onslow puts it, a dirty old man, she likes to tell people how he fought in the war, which he did, but it's like he's senile now, so sometimes he just carries around a wooden gun that's shaped like a rifle, pretending or thinking back to when he was there. And she always says, well, I love my daddy, and I would have him come stay with me, but she doesn't do that because it would be embarrassing to her to have to chase him down and keep him from chasing after the ladies. So instead she allows him to stay with Daisy and Onslow. So now finally you've got Violet that I mentioned. So this is the one sister that she's always talking about. She always tells everybody about her sister Violet. And the reason why is because her husband is a turf accountant who makes a lot of money, and they have a nice house with enough room for a swimming pool and room for a pony, and they own a Mercedes that they drive around all the time. So she loves to talk about them. But there's a problem. Violet and her husband, dang it, what's his name? Bruce. Her husband Bruce, they don't have the strongest bond in when it comes to a marriage. And so they bicker and fight a lot. Not only that, but Violet is very dramatic, like Rose is dramatic, but she's always talking about, oh no, I'm going to get a divorce, all this stuff. And Hyacinth is always encouraging her to stay in the marriage to keep the money. She's like, you don't want to split the Mercedes and stuff like that. Here's another kicker. Bruce is also a cross-dresser. So he likes to wear women's dresses and tutus and stuff like that. And that is very embarrassing for a person like Hyacinth, who wants to be very prim and proper and impressive to other people. So she kind of hides that part. She only talks about the fact that they're rich, but sometimes she bumps into them when she's out and about trying to impress everyone. So it's a very funny series. You got to see it. One of my favorite episodes is when they get their country cottage and they invite people over to that country cottage. I like that. I also like the episode before it when they're picking out country cottages, and how once again Hyacinth goes over the top, scares Richard half to death with her selection. But all that gets resolved at the end of that episode, and then you see what happens beyond that. And I'm telling you, it is hilarious. Don't have your cup of tea in hand while you are watching certain scenes from that episode of the country cottage, because you will do a spit take. It is really funny. I'm not going to give it away. But all of her episodes are really hilarious. It's just like if you were to see that neighbor who's always trying to impress you, hey, I got a new car. Hey, I'm going to go outside and wash and wax my new car. Hey, oh yes, I just got that next raise, and so I'm going to be, I got that promotion. Oh, look at me in my brand new outfit and my new clothes, and oh, look at us. That whole thing, when you start seeing people like that, but as they're trying to impress you, someone in their lives shows up that is really embarrassing for them and totally messes up the whole illusion that they're trying to create as they are looking to impress you. So, really great show. I love that one. You will definitely want to get yourself a copy of this if you too love to laugh. And it doesn't have to be, a dig at people all the time. It doesn't have to be raunchy humor all the time and dirty jokes and stuff like that. Sometimes you just want some good, clean, wholesome laughs. That's exactly what this is. You will love this. For those of you that know Patricia Routledge, she's in so many other different things. I'm actually a little sad that the show ended as soon as it did, but it was simply because she was ready to move on and do other things, and she did. And she played, I think, a detective after. I forgot the name of it, but she was good in that too. I mean, she's good in everything that she's done over all these decades. So this is actually one of my favorite roles. I love Hyacinth. She's the person you love to just be annoyed by and want to avoid. The mailman tries to avoid her. The milkman tries to avoid her. Her neighbors try to avoid her. So it's really funny. But when you see their reactions to her every time she shows up somewhere, I mean, even her whole congregation tries to hide from her. It's hilarious. So anyway, you want to get yourself a copy. This does, I know in my local area, it comes on PBS every day for afternoon tea. So you can watch it for free on television. And I like the fact that they always do it on a loop. So they play the episodes in order, all the way up until the last episode, and then they simply start again with the first episode and go through once again. So you just never know when you start watching it where they're which episode they're on. So if you want to watch it from the very beginning, you'll probably just want to go ahead and get yourself the DVD set. And like I said, I got the collector's item, so this was this one was pretty cool because I got my seeds. I don't plan on planting the seeds anytime soon, but I love this little bag here, plus the bonus. So you've got the 10 disc set, collector's edition, and all the discs inside look like this. It's really, really cool with some extra bonuses and things like that in there. So lots of fun, and this way I can watch it any time of the day. So when I'm busy working on my home business and I'm ready to take a break, I can just pop this in instead of having to schedule my time around a television show, So but yeah, it does come on PBS every day in the afternoons. And any other times I'm not really sure of, but I do know it comes on at like 2:30 every day in DC on PBS. So cool stuff there. But yeah, you can get this. I got mine on eBay. I got a really good deal for it. So when you do order it, make sure you get it for the right region so that you can watch it on your DVD player. You guys know how that is. If you have any other questions, or if you have in fact seen Keeping Up Appearances and you love it as much as I do, share that inside the comments. Tell me why you love it. Who's your favorite character? If I had to pick my favorite, it's hard to just pick one. Oh my gosh, it's really hard to just pick one. I was going to say I love um, Liz and her brother, Emmett. I love them. But I also love Onslow and Daisy. I love them too. And I also love the vicar. And I also love Rose. And I also love Hyacinth herself. And I also love Richard because you just feel for Richard. So, I mean, it's really hard to decide. But if you have a favorite, if you have a favorite, share it inside the comments. I'd love to get your take on how you feel about the show. How does it make you feel to watch something like that? Even all these years later, we're a little late over here in the U.S., you guys. I know all my UKers, we missed the boat, but you guys have some amazing shows, and I just wanted to give you guys a shout out. I think the UK is awesome. So, and that is pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and close this now. Make sure that if you love this video that you subscribe. I'm going to talk about my tie for first place when it comes to Britcoms. This is one of my favorites, but I've got another favorite tied for first place, and I just love both of the Britcoms so much, it's hard to really make a choice. So they're tied at first. But I'll talk more about that in the next video that I do on this channel. For those of you that were curious to know, Wait a minute, Val, you work from home? Yes, I do. I work for myself. I have my own business, and so I get to set my own hours and still have time to do fun stuff like get on YouTube and do this. So eventually, I guess I'll be making money from YouTube too. But as far as like what my business does, it helps people. I coach and mentor and train people to learn how they can start their own business from home, even on a shoestring budget, and how they can eventually fire their boss if they like. So if that's something that you were looking to do, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you about that. So there you have it. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.